person in a certain situation. So I'm used to being a pioneer. A lot of my friends know better than to tell me that I can't do something, because that's actually encouragement to try to find a solution. When I was in school, I had a teacher who trained me how to travel as a blind person. And I remember one of the lessons, she intentionally had me miss my stop so that I can learn how to problem solve when things go wrong. Many students with disabilities don't have access to information when they're in school, and we need to make sure the schools have access to accessible technology, have access to qualified teachers who can provide training. Deaf blindness is a spectrum. There are people with a limited vision and limited hearing, and we use a variety of different communication styles. Sign language, print on palm. What I use primarily is a keyboard and digital braille display. So people will type on a wireless keyboard and I'll read in digital braille. Hello, it's good to meet you. Her job is to navigate around obstacles. I make the decisions and she follows me. When I was young, I had to teach people what I need, and that process helped me build up self-advocacy skills. There was one incident when I was in college. College cafeteria would provide menus only in print, and blind students couldn't access the menu. Later, I did research. I learned that I have a right to information. And I returned to the cafeteria manager and explained, I'm actually not asking for favors. I'm asking you to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. It changed the whole culture in the cafeteria. They started providing menus in accessible formats. And that taught me that if I advocate for myself, I change the community. Harvard told me we've never had a deaf-blind student before. And I told Harvard, I've never been to Harvard Law School before. We didn't have all the answers, but we pioneered our way using assistive technology and high expectations. Disability is never the barrier. It's the environment that's the barrier. A lot of barriers right now are digital. The vast majority of websites have access barriers. Sometimes I'm shopping online and the technology I use, a screen reader, can't figure out what's on the screen. That's a barrier. So what I do is provide training to teach organizations that if they make their technology accessible, they can reach more people, including people with disabilities. There are 57 million Americans with disabilities, and around the world there are 1.3 billion people with disabilities. So let's focus on changing society and removing the barriers rather than putting pressure on people with disabilities to change how they are. Everybody plays a role in making our community more inclusive. Look around you. Are there barriers for wheelchair users? Are there communication barriers for individuals who are deaf? Are there print barriers for individuals who are blind? Once you identify those barriers, look for ways to make them more inclusive. We all have challenges in different forms, and it's beautiful to find solutions and make it through these challenges.